Hello and welcome back to Two Reds, One Devil, where me, a United fan, speaks to two Liverpool fans, Jake.
Hi, you're right.
And Ryan.
Hello.
And have we got a big week to talk about, boys? I mean, plenty's happened, hasn't it? It's been a roller coaster for well, definitely for me anyway. I don't know about you. I mean, maybe more of a depressing one for you two.
I was going to say, if that roller coaster includes, it coming off the rails, then fucking definitely.
At least there were some ups for United, but last night, so I brought it down a bit, but we'll get onto that. I was looking forward to this podcast until United played Sheffield United last night and ruined everything, ruined the one podcast I was actually looking forward to in the last year. But what can you do? That's United. That's United for you.
I feel like this one the first weeks, but like the first times we've recorded this, where so much shit has happened in the interim. Like 2 games between the two teams we both support a bit. Like to have that in the space of like recording one podcast and another's a bit mad. So plenty to talk about.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure we'll be rambling on. But to get things underway, it's your quiz, isn't it?
It is indeed. And to be fair, I think this one, I don't know whether you'll like this or not. I'll be completely honest with this. Just because, no, and the only reason is because it doesn't really have any sort of like Lincoln theme. It is very much just football knowledge based, which
That's
I mean,
right.
for the purists out there, might be a little bit better.
Yeah, we don't mind
feel
that.
Like it. All I'm going to say is it could favour Ryan a little bit. I feel like his football knowledge is a bit more obscure.
Oh, great.
Not just based on
keep the compliments coming, Jake.
Didn't Ryan lose last podcast? If I'm right,
it's not happening again.
He did indeed.
It was a minor slip up.
The confidence is gone.
Do we want to be reminded of the? Do we want to be reminded of the current standings at the minute before we go into it?
Yeah, might as well.
It's currently 3-2-1.
Who's on 1?
3-2-1.
It's Jake. He got off the board last week.
Ooh, so I can level things up at the front.
You can, yeah.
Woohoo! I'm nervous.
So as Oggy is trailing currently, I'm going to give you the choice for the first round. It's going to be 10 general knowledge football questions, and you're going to have to pick set A or set B.
Oh, I've heard good things about set B, so
fair enough. And they're going to be pretty quick fire. So the rule I'm going to set is obviously about 5 or 10 seconds to give an answer. If you either give an incorrect answer or fail to answer, the other player has a chance to steal.
Okay.
Okay, let me just get things in order. Just let me know when you're ready, all.
Ready when you are.
Okie dokie. So the first question is, age 17 and 192 days, who became the youngest English player to start a Champions League game in December 2017?
Ooh, Phil Foden.
That is correct, all. Ollie's off the mark. That's a good start. How many Champions Leagues has Gareth Bale won?
3.
That's incorrect. Ryan, I'm going to give you a chance to steal.
4.
Yeah, that's correct, right?
4.
Yeah. Okay. Which player has went on the following career path? Queen's Park, Dundee, Hull City, Liverpool.
Andrew Robertson.
Yep, that's correct. So, who was manager as Huddersfield secured their first promotion to the Premier League in 2017?
David Wagner.
That's correct, Alt. Which Brazilian player won the first ever Champions League Golden Boot in 1993?
Ooh, Rivaldo.
No. Ollie, sorry, right chance to steal?
Romario?
No, the correct answer was Ronaldo.
Oh, well, seems too obvious.
Yeah. Before Atletico Madrid in 2014, who was the last club other than Real Madrid or Barcelona to win the La Liga trophy?
Ooh, Villarreal.
No. Right chance to steal?
Valencia?
Yeah, that's correct. Right.
I knew it was something beginning with V.
Big Rafa?
It was indeed. Rafa's Valencia team. Is that the one with the guys Comendieta and all that? And Pablo
I believe
Aimar,
so.
I think. Okay, next question. Playing for Denmark, who was the youngest player to make an appearance at the 2010 World Cup?
Kasper Dolberg.
No. Ryan, chance to steal?
Ericsson?
It was indeed Christian Eriksen.
No. That's way
Okay.
too early for Dolby.
In the 2018-19 season, which team lost 10 London derbies?
Arsenal.
Nope. Right, chance to steal.
West Ham.
No, the correct answer was Fulham.
Yeah.
Had to be. Which player scored the winner in the 2011 FA Cup final to secure Man City's first recent major trophy?
Yaya Toure.
Was indeed Yaya Toure. Okay, and last question for your set. Which national bloody hell, I can't speak.
Whoa.
Can tell it's been a while since I've done this podcast.
So you've spoken.
Which national team shares the same nickname as Man United?
Albania.
Nope.
Oh, he's fucked it. It's Belgium.
No.
It is indeed. So, on Ollie's set, Ryan's taking a 4-3 lead. So it's a good start, Al.
A couple of own goals.
Okay, so Ryan, your chance to increase your lead.
Watch these
Tell
all be
me-
Liverpool questions.
I mean, you did have a United question in there, and you got it wrong, Bob, so...
Yeah, he heard good things about Setby.
Right, okay, Ryan, tell me when you're ready.
Anytime now.
Okay, which Argentine international midfielder who played at Liverpool from 2010 to 2012 has played in the last 4 decades?
2010. Oh, Maxi Rodriguez.
That, correct.
I'd have
In
got
the
that.
18-19 season, which 2 managers started their new reigns with 12 games unbeaten?
Klopp and Pep.
Nope. Ollie, chance to steal.
Lampard and I don't know.
No. The correct answers were Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Maurizio
Solskjaer.
Sarri. Okay. Which player's career followed this path? Hannover 96, Werder Bremen, and Arsenal.
Fuck it, Martin. I don't know. Further.
You have to
Mertesacker.
push. Yeah, correct.
Oh, shit.
Oh, get in.
Okay. Which player has scored the most goals in the Premier League in the last decade?
Say it again, sorry.
Which Premier League player has scored the most goals in the league in the
Aguero.
last?
Aguero.
Yeah, Aguero is correct. Right, next question is, who did Wales beat 3-1 in the quarterfinals of Euro 2016 to reach the
Belgium.
semi-finals? Belgium is correct.
Loves his Belgium questions.
Which manager guided which club to promotion from League 2 up to the Premier League between 2010 and 2015?
Eddie Howe to Bournemouth.
That's correct. Kenny Dalglish, Steve Nicol, and which other Scottish international played in 2 consecutive European Cup finals for Liverpool in 1984 and 1985?
Fucking Graham Souness.
Nope. Ollie, chance to steal.
No idea.
Okay, the correct answer is Alan Hansen. I think that was gettable. Okay. With over 100 caps for Northern Ireland,
Oh,
this footballer played at centre-back for Newcastle, Villa, Fulham and Hearts. Who is it?
Aaron Hughes.
That's correct.
My guy.
In 2013, who became the first Asian player to score a Premier League hat-trick?
Kagawa.
That's correct. And the last question is, who is the only club to have won the Premier League on goal difference?
City.
That's correct.
Get in.
So currently, after round 1, Ryan has taken a 12-3 lead.
made the wrong choices with the questions there.
Tried to give you as much help as I could give you all, but you know.
Disappointed.
Okay, so moving on to round 2. You will both be eligible to compete in the same question, and it's going to be, I'm going to give a statement, and you've got to give an answer, and the closest answer wins.
Okay.
It'll become more clear once the questions start rolling out. So the first is, what is the combined total of Roberto Firmino and Anthony Martial's highest scoring seasons in all competitions?
Ooh. That's a nice one.
So Ollie, as you're losing, I'll give you first guess, and then obviously Ryan can have a guess as well.
The highest scoring seasons combined.
Yeah.
51.
Okay, Ryan, and what?
I don't
is your
think it'll
guess?
be as high. I'm gonna go for
Is this all competitions?
All competitions.
Yeah.
44.
Okie dokie, 44. By the way, there's I'm going to say 3 points an offer for each question, and there's 5 of them. Okay.
Okay.
Just to make things a bit more interesting. So I can reveal that the correct answer is 50.
Oh.
So that's 3 points on the board there for all.
I know my Firmino and Martial stuff.
Out of interest, who do you think scored more?
Martial's best was not last season. I think he got 24 maybe. So maybe it was Firmino.
So Roberto Firmino's best season was 27 in all competitions, and Anthony Martial's was 23. But Roberto Firmino don't score goals. But he doesn't score goals. It's one of them.
Oh, there we go.
Right, okay. So the next question is, I want you to guess the current career total of assists provided by Mesut Ozil.
Ooh. Oh, this will have been knocking about Twitter when he moved.
Ryan, go on.
Sorry, repeat the question. Was it all competitions or what?
Just the total amount of assists he's recorded in his career. So across all
in his
competitions.
life. Fucking hell.
Across his career. So obviously, like, under 19s do not count at this point.
156.
Ooh.
Okay, I'll.
I'm going to say 171.
The correct answer is 216, so Ollie takes another 3
fuck's
points.
sake!
That's a hell of a lot of assists.
Yeah, it really is. Okay, the next one is to the nearest million, the combined transfer total of Nicholas and Nelka's transfers over the years, according to Transfermarkt.
I watched his documentary fairly recently.
Do you know what? I'm in the middle of watching that.
It's good.
Fucking
It's
good,
decent, yeah. I watched it right
Okay,
ago.
Al, want to hazard a guess?
143.
Okay, right.
Again, I don't think it'll be as high, but
No, I feel like I've gone too high there.
113.
Do you know what? 111 million. Right, that's a fucking good guess, to be fair. Okay, and the last one on this round is the amount of managers that have won 100 Premier League games or more.
The amount.
So, yeah, the total amount of managers.
Okay.
Go on, I'll let Rye guess first.
18.
Okay.
27.
The correct answer is 23. So.
Ooh.
Oh, you got it by 1.
Wait, 18. Ollie said 18, didn't he?
No, he said 18.
I said 27.
Ooh.
How many was it?
See, I'm good.
21.
I'm going to give it. Who do we give that to? That's like right.
What did Ryan say?
27.
No, I said 27.
Oh, you said 27. Ryan said 18.
And how much was it?
23.
Oh,
Ollie gets it.
yeah.
Augie gets it.
Woohoo, that's a tight one. Is it? And
Okay,
are there 3 points for these as well?
Yeah, 3 points for each. So I'll reveal the scores after, and there is one last question that I completely forgot about. So the amount of major trophies won by Dani Alves during his career.
Oh. 29.
Okay, Ryan.
I think it's a lot more. I think it's like 45.
Oh, I think it is as well, actually.
Well, Ryan's closer. It's 41. Fucking
Oof,
ridiculous amount of trophies.
That is silly.
Okay, so currently Ryan is on 18, and Ollie, you are on 12.
Oh.
So you need a big point swing in this.
Oh
Who
no,
Am
it's
I
like
round?
Rames as well.
You really need a big point swing here.
I
So
need 2 3-pointers really, don't I?
So, the first Who Am I is I have played with Steven Gerrard, Christopher Samba, and Rio Ferdinand.
Is this following the theme of 1 United, 1 Liverpool, 1 other?
It is indeed.
Okay.
I didn't plan it that way, but it ended up turning out that way.
Gerrard, Samba, Ferdinand.
All at club level?
All at club level.
It's a tricky one, I don't have a clue.
To be honest, I don't think you'll get it with the first clue.
Really?
But I could be wrong. We'll need to push this for an answer, though.
Yeah.
Risk Robbie Keane.
That is incorrect.
Ah.
I think it could be. Black Samba player. I nearly gave something away then, but I'm guessing Ryan knows that anyway. No idea.
Go on, stab in the dark.
Stephen Corker.
Okay, so the next clue is...
Fucking hell, I thought I got it. I should.
So I have played in 4 different countries over the course of my career, which is England, Wales, Australia and Thailand.
Ooh. Oh, is it Harry Kewell?
It's not, and I've just
No.
thought that would be... I was literally thinking that would be an amazing guess, but it's not.
England, Wales, Thailand, Australia. It's very early doors. Too early, but Robbie Fowler.
Oh, he's got it.
No
Oh,
way.
get him.
Yeah.
No way.
So, obviously, Gerrard at Liverpool. Samba at Blackburn on loan. It was on a... No, sorry, not on loan. On a pay-as-you-play contract
No
for 6
way.
months. And, obviously, Rio Ferdinand at Leeds. So...
Well, he's won, hasn't he? He's wrapped it up.
I think he has indeed. So you're playing for pride now.
What I've got left of it.
Okay, so the next one is I've played with Alan Shearer, Steve Finnan, and Cristiano Ronaldo.
Oh, I have no idea where Steve Finn's been. Oh.
Come on, redeem yourself, all 3-pointer. Come on.
No, that's Steve Finnan's thrown me. I have no idea where he was.
Dennis Irwin.
It's not Dennis Irwin.
I'm thinking he's going a bit old school here.
Yeah.
I don't think I've got anything at the moment. I don't think I can give you a guess.
Gonna pass?
Yeah.
Okay, I've played for 6 different Premier League clubs between 1999 and 2013.
So we should know him in that period.
Any stabs in the dark?
I'm basically just having to guess between who's played with Shearer and Ronaldo because I've got nothing on Finnan. I know he's at Liverpool, but I don't know. Other than that, I have no idea. Ryan can guess first since he's winning.
I think I know where Finn has been, but I still have no idea about any shouts.
I'm gonna need to push this for an answer here, boys.
Kanu.
It's not. It is not Kanu.
Louis Saha.
Hey!
It is!
Louis Saha, indeed. So that is a... he's played with Alan Shearer when he was on loan at Newcastle in 1999. Played with Steve Finnan at Fulham and then Ronaldo at United.
Yeah.
Okay. And the last one is... I'm just trying to... No, you definitely can't win. Just
No, I
wanted
can't.
to make that clear. Yeah, so... I've played with Kevin Morales, Marco Arnautovic, and Joe Cole.
Boom.
Go on.
Marouane Fellaini.
It's not.
No.
I mean, you could have done, but that's not who I've said.
Oh, I don't actually think.
Fuck is Morales.
Where did you play with Joe Cole?
I don't know. I listened to the first 2 and got carried away.
I have no idea. Kevin Morales, who has he been at? I feel like he's been somewhere other than Everton. I don't know, fucking Ogbonna.
Nope. Okay, so in his 2 years in England, he scored 11 goals in 48 games.
It's not great, is it? 11 in 48.
Kevin Morales, where's he been?
I can't remember where he came from. I know where he went afterwards, but I can't remember where he came from.
I don't know anything.
It's not Kevin De Bruyne, is it?
It's not Kevin De Bruyne.
Jelavic.
No. Okay, so the last clue is Streets Won't Forget.
Payet.
Hey, he's got it.
Where's he played with Morales?
It was at I can't remember where I put him at. It was in Lille.
Oh yeah.
It was either Lille or it was the club he played for before that, which might have been Metz.
Oh yeah.
I want to just double check. I did do my research. Just want to double check.
Just clear it up for the people at home that are worrying. Oh, I'm disappointed with that. Not turned up.
So that is Ryan winning the quiz with a score of 21 points to 14. It's a good showing from Ryan. Getting a bit of lead at the top. Saint Etienne. Saint Etienne, he played with them.
I've not been embarrassed, but I've been well beaten.
Okie doke. So, yeah, let's crack on.
Yeah, anyway, let's address the two
elephants
in the room. Which, well, we'll start from sort of reverse chronological order even, and we'll start with the 0-0, which is probably the least exciting game that we've had to discuss on this podcast. What were your thoughts on that one?
That was everything that a Man United and Liverpool game has been over the past 10-15 years.
Shit.
Literally. So much hype, so much on the line, and fucking nothing.
I mean, it was dubbed to be sort of the biggest Liverpool United game in years, really, hasn't it? For first versus second. Like, it's been ages since we've played each other and both sort of been in with a shout of winning the title.
I will go out on a limb here and say that it might be slightly unpopular, but I really think you's fucked up.
In what way?
I just think if you's had enough about yourselves, you's would have put us to the sword.
I mean, I think we had the chances to ourselves. The Pogba chance right at the end, and Fernandes.
Well, I'm saying in general player. Like, you were playing against the back four, including Jordan Henderson and Fabinho, and you registered 2 decent chances and let us have possession for most of the game. I think any team that's that backs themselves in any sort of way are going to come and take the game to Liverpool.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, but at the end of the day, at that point you hadn't been beaten at Anfield. Or had you been beaten at Anfield? Was Burnley before or after?
Burnley was after.
Burnley, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but you were playing the reputation. You
weren't
playing the
true. I know what you're saying. I maybe we could have gone for it a bit more, but I think coming away from Anfield with a point is a lot bigger than coming away from Anfield having lost.
No, that's true. I'd agree with that, but I don't know. I just think you've missed a massive opportunity. Like, I think most teams that are gunning for it, because at the end of the day, as much as I don't like to admit it, you're up there to contend for the title. I don't think you'll win it, but I think you're right up there. And I just think that if that's Man City, or if that's, I mean, maybe not Tottenham under Mourinho, but you know, if that's us going for that title against City, and they had the injuries that we had, and that's play the team we had, I think you'd go for it and you'd try and get on the front foot a bit more.
True, but I don't know. Maybe we don't quite trust ourselves. At the end of the day, we're still sort of a developing team. We're not the finished article just yet. We're not the sort of team that you were last season, or the team City are or have been in the past. So I don't think we can trust ourselves entirely to go out and sort of put in as you can see against Sheffield United last night, to trust ourselves to put in a performance worthy of winning the title every week. So maybe Solskjaer's thought, do you know what? I'd rather come away from Anfield with a point than come away with nothing. And
well, would you say that's on the personnel that you have, or is that on the manager?
I think it's a combination of both. It's just the fact that we're not the finished article. Like, you say you under Klopp for the first couple of years, you weren't the finished article. And if you were to go and play a title-winning team in their own backyard where they haven't lost for however many years or days or whatever, I don't think you'd go for it and try and beat them. So I think until what happened against Sheffield United, it looked like a good point, because we retained our lead however many points above you at the top, and you know, until we lost to Sheffield United, that would have been a really healthy lead.
What do you think, Ray?
Well, I think we kind of did. Like, at Anfield, like Augie said, to be fair, we can't really go full throttle, especially up against that Liverpool side, but I feel like in the second half, definitely, if we did go for it a bit more, could have got the winner. So, like, to be fair, if I was a United fan, if I was in their perspective, I wouldn't have been too disappointed with United's performance. So I can understand what Ollie's saying, where he's happy enough with performance. Would have been nice if he had got the winner, if he did have a chances and all. But I don't know. Did respect United for performance.
I said, I just look at it and I think it's a missed opportunity. I think because if you go there and like I said, it's okay if you lose then it's a bad result and Ollie gets dug out in the media for not being more conservative. But at the same time, I think you're never going to get a better opportunity to beat us in Anfield ever. Like I don't think that's ever going to happen. If it doesn't happen now, I don't think it's going to happen for a long, long time. Just because I think the way, like the form we've been in, like we're not scoring goals. The fact that we're having to play midfielders out of position at the back and then have a second choice midfield out. And then you've got the fullbacks who haven't been in great form either. I don't know. I think the only player who's in any sort of form for us at the minute's Alisson, and he's only really mustered up 2 chances against them. So
at the end of the day, though, someone said to me, "Would you rather win the league or gamble on beating Liverpool at Anfield, or take a 0-0 draw and win the league?"
Well, this is the point, though. It's whether not going for it may cost you in the long run because you are prone to going and putting a disaster class like you did against Sheffield United.
I know what you're saying, but at least we didn't lose ground on sort of a direct title rival like we did with City when we drew 0-0 with them earlier in the season. Like at least we haven't lost ground on a title sort of rival.
True. One thing I do want to bring up is like who and what has replaced Luke Shaw.
Oh wow, how good has he been?
Honest to God, I feel like for me he's been the best. Probably up there with someone like Matty Cash and Cancelo as like just by far the best fullback in the league this season.
Definitely,
This past month he's been unbelievable.
Yeah, he's been consistent. Like, I know when we did the team of the season so far, and he didn't really get a mention. I don't know if I mentioned him briefly, but you probably when we did that about a month ago, you probably wouldn't have put him in there because he's been consistent but not set the world alight. And now he's starting to sort of show the form that got in the move to United really. And what he
seemed to be, I'd think definitely,
yeah. Who would start over him?
Over Chilwell?
I think it's only Chilwell, but
Chilwell's been awful.
I wouldn't say he's been awful, Chilwell.
For this past month, ever since I suggested putting him in that team of the season so far, he's been absolutely
You've absolutely
garbage.
cursed him.
Yeah, literally. I'm really happy.
Do you know what? The only reason I bring it up is I seen I think was it Soccer AM or Sky or someone released like a poll for the best fullback from this season, like who's been the best. And I think it was off the top of my head it was Tierney, Cresswell, Cancelo. Ooh, bit of feedback there. It's a Soccer AM poll. So the only reason I bring up the Luke Shaw stuff is because I seen a poll released by Soccer AM on their Instagram. Well, not so much a poll as a post, and it said who has been the best fullback in the Premier League this season. And it lists Ben Chilwell, Kieran Tierney, João Cancelo, Aaron Cresswell, and Andy Robertson, and then someone else. Now, for me, I feel like at least 2 or 3 of them shouldn't even be in the conversation.
Should Robertson be?
Maybe.
I don't even think he should be anymore.
I think he had a good start to the season, and then I think the whole of our side the past month has just been poor. But at the same time, I look at Kieran Tierney's not been great. Aaron Cresswell's not been overly impressive. Cancelo, to be fair, has been amazing. And then I look at Robertson, been decent. Chilwell's been crap for a month. Luke Shaw doesn't even get a mention, and I'm thinking, well,
that's harsh.
I definitely agree with that.
His performances against you, both of them were sort of top notch. He was really good.
Yeah, both ways as well. Like going forward and like defending was ridiculous.
He seems to have got that sort of burst of pace back, which he seemed to have lost for a while after his injury. But
to be fair, that injury that he had years ago, that was so serious. I don't think it gets talked about enough how bad that was.
Yeah.
Like I was reading somewhere, he nearly lost his leg.
Yeah, it was horrible.
I swear it, yeah. But for him to come back and do what he's doing now, like fair play to him. It says a lot that you've signed that Tellers and he looked decent.
I think that's what's done it. To be fair, I think we're looking to do the same. I think if Trippier hadn't have got that betting ban, I think we'd have signed him this January because we were linked with him quite heavily. And to do the same sort of job that Tellers has done, just come in and push Wan-Bissaka like Tellers has pushed Shaw.
Do you not think someone like Ethan Laird can come in and do that?
I personally would rather keep Laird and not sign Trippier and promote Laird to like a first team player, sort of press Wan-Bissaka. But I guess the problem with that is you've got two young players there.
I was going to say, I think we could do something similar right back at the minute, because I feel like Trent for the past month, to be honest, I'd say the last couple of months has been smelly.
All season.
He's had his moments, but fuck me. I don't know whether he's tired or whether he's being.
He does need a break.
Because I know it was the Southampton game, wasn't it, where he lost possession, something like, was it 50 plus times?
Outrageous amount of times.
A stupid amount of times, and then got hooked, but a lot of that came down to every time he had the ball, he was getting hounded. Now, whether it's teams have obviously figured out that he's a danger when he gets the ball with time, I don't know. But it just seems to me that every time he gets the ball, he's looking to put it into the area, and his quality is just not there at the minute.
Well, what should we do with him in regards to competition? Because like we were just speaking about Ethan Laird being promoted to United first team, but you don't want two youngsters going at the same position. We're kind of in the same position at the moment where we have Nico Williams going for it, who, let's face it, hasn't been the sort of competition we would have wished he was.
No, not at all. He's not a bad player by any means, but I just don't think he's anywhere near ready to be playing like a long stretch of games. Realistically, as of right now, he is not competition for Trent. So do we dip into the market? But at the same time, like we do have two right backs who hopefully will go on to have a real good career. So like, do we need to dip into that market? But like, we have just been saying how Trent really needs competition. I think if you can find someone who's experienced, like someone in the mould of Trippier, or maybe someone who's
maybe
slightly older, got a bit of experience, and is ready to come in and he's not going to set the world alight, but he can come in and just be solid.
Yeah.
And it's that kind of thing of, okay, well, if you're not playing well, then he's going to come in and he will just do a job until you're ready to pick your game up. So I don't know. I think maybe it could be as well. You got to remember he's playing in a back four that's constantly changing week to week, and next to a midfield that's changing week to week. And at his best, he's got Henderson dropping into that space behind him to cover while he can go forward. It's whether he's got it in the back of his mind that when he's going forward, he's then going to have to sprint all the way back to then cover, because Thiago or Chamberlain aren't going to do that same job as Henderson is.
Do you think we'll ever see Trent go into midfield? Not anytime soon, anyway. I don't think, especially given how strong we are in the midfield department.
I don't think so. I used to think you would, but I don't anymore.
I just look at it now and I think his skill set is very tailor-made to where he is right now. I look at him, he's not amazing at receiving the ball and beating his man.
That's what I was going to say. I don't think he's good enough on the ball to play centre mid. He's not good enough defensively to play.
No, I'd say he's good. No, this is the thing. I think he's decent defensively. It's just he's never. That's not what's asked of him normally. If that makes sense. I think whenever he's 1v1 defensively, he's fine, and he's going to learn as he gets older to become a lot more
like Wan-Bissaka.
In what sense?
Defending.
No, it isn't the issue there. Wan-Bissaka's issue is.
No, I'm saying Trent could learn to be a bit more like Wan-Bissaka defensively.
Not really. I'd honestly.
Not really.
No, I think 1v1 he's fine. He's not amazing, but he makes up for it by.
So you're saying that Trent could not get better by being more like Wan-Bissaka defensively?
No, this is the thing, right? He could potentially improve and be better defensively, because Wan-Bissaka is a very good 1v1 defender. But I think to label Wan-Bissaka this amazing defensive fullback is a bit.
No, I agree. 1v1 definitely.
But positionally, I think Trent's. He could possibly be better than Wan-Bissaka, because I think he is that bad positionally. It's his pace and power that makes up for it. But I mean, I think it's less when you're playing centre midfield, it's less about 1v1 defending and more about your positional sense and awareness more than anything.
True. Anyway, I feel like we should get back to the Liverpool games. Should we get on to the second game, because that was a bit more exciting?
Do we have to?
Yeah. So what happened there, boys?
What I do prefer about the Old Trafford game, so it's something to look forward to more. Like, when I've been saying this for years now, Liverpool and United at Anfield is always underwhelming, but at Old Trafford, both teams go for it. It's much more enjoyable. Well, I say that until Sunday.
Yeah, it's always that'll always be the case though, because United will feel like they have to come out and play, and Liverpool are always going to play. So, but
what went wrong for us?
2 words, mate. Divock Origi.
Oh, don't start him. Just
big chance that. When do you start moving on from the sort of fairy tale of the Champions League and that to getting rid of him? Because that is not good enough for a team like that.
I would have gave up last summer, if I'm honest.
Oh, do you know what? To be honest, I think he's that much in the forefront of my mind that I thought that miss was against United. It wasn't. It was against Burnley.
It was against Burnley, yeah.
Yeah, but even still, I mean, I think that's how angry that made me, and we'll get onto that in a bit. But
he did come on against United, though, didn't he?
Yeah, but he offered
nothing.
And
he does nothing. No, to be fair, I think a lot of it, that United game, it was a very even game. I just think Hughes edged it simply because of who we had at the back. Like Reece Williams, no disrespect to him, but is not at the level we need.
No.
He really isn't, and I don't understand all the hype that was around him when he first started playing, because I didn't see it then, and I still don't see it.
Well, he was playing non-league football last season, wasn't he?
No, that's the point. I don't think it's on him. I'm not turning around and be like,
yeah.
You know, all these people giving him dog's abuse online. It's like, well, he's a 19-year-old kid who was playing for Kidderminster last season, who's been coming to fill the hole of Van Dijk because he looks a bit like him. Like, surely that's it. Like, that must be the only reason, because footballing-wise, he's not good enough. Like, you know, at the end of the day, he makes a mistake, Rashford scores, then obviously Bruno scores the free kick and Hughes edge it. But I don't think there was that much in it, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't think from a Liverpool perspective we can look back and be too disappointed with the performance, especially given how bad we were before the United game, if you know what I mean. Like, I think we actually upped our game and we were a bit unlucky. Yeah, that's true.
That's the fact that Salah started scoring again's fantastic, just because it will ease that pressure, especially when we, like, you know, we're going into a game against a team that are going to sit in tonight in Tottenham. But yeah, that I think more than anything, Firmino just needs to he either needs rest or he needs a hug or something. Like, he's just
don't we all?
Honest to God, like this lockdown must be hitting him so hard, because he just looks a shell of himself. Like,
who is it? Is it Firmino, did you say?
Yeah. Like, at the end of the day, I know you've given stick for the longest time about him not being able to finish. And, you know, I think me and Ryan always used to say his link-up play and his work off the ball kind of got him out of that. Yeah, make up for it. He isn't even doing that anymore.
Yeah. He looks so lethargic up top at the moment.
His pressure, I'm sure, I was looking at stats, and I'm sure his pressures per 90 have dropped drastically from the last couple of seasons. And then and creatively, his touch is dire. Oh my fucking word.
But then we do talk about competition and like how Alex Telles came in for Shaw. Who do we have to...
Minamino.
Minamino and Origi. Like,
does Minamino not deserve a chance now?
I'm not being funny. I mean, that meme I sent you on, that summed it up. Like, he can't get a game if he tried.
But like, he has had chances in the past. Like, I think it's just a case of, like, see if Minamino was brought in and he did nothing, we'd all be saying, why isn't Origi getting a chance? Like, although I would like to see Minamino instead of Origi, I still feel like neither of them are good enough to be a backup striker. We need someone like who I really like. I haven't seen much of him, but I can't say his name. Spurs' backup.
Vinicius.
Yeah, came in, grabbed a hat-trick in the FA Cup. He scored in a few Europa League games.
Against Marine.
Yeah, but a few Europa League games as well. Like, he's came in and scored
goals.
That
a little bit, because I swear to God, that made me laugh so much.
No,
he literally booting the ball in from like a couple of yards out and starts doing the Mbappe celebration at fucking Marine.
That's what we need right now.
He does look decent, to be fair.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he was Benfica's top scorer last season.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. But we need someone.
My biggest thing is, our backup. I mean, you got to remember as well, we've also had Jota in.
Yeah, you need him back.
Month. I think if he comes in, he can alleviate that pressure on those three to score goals. But I've been talking about this a lot with a couple people outside of this, and I've said that every single front three that's been at the top of their game for like a couple of years is only together for maybe 2-3 years max. You know, you look at like Messi, Suarez, Neymar when they were amazing, a couple of years until one of them moved on. Even was it Ronaldo, Tevez, Rooney?
Yeah,
that wasn't together very long. I could reel off countless. This front three's been together for 4 years.
Yeah,
that's a lot. And to be fair, if you look at the first Champions League final this team reached against Real Madrid, it's pretty much the same team. It's only really Alisson that's come in, and Fabinho that have come in and been embedded in the first team. The rest of it's the same squad. It definitely needs changing up this summer.
But who would we change?
I think Wijnaldum's going to go. I think that's pretty clear. I think one of the front three needs to go.
I think
that is a bold claim.
And it's not a case of I think that they're bad players or I think that they're finished or anything. So I think wherever they go, they're going to be good. But I just think...
I do know where you mean and all, but at the same time, which one of the three do you pick?
It's one of them. I think the one that you get the most money for, which would make the most sense financially at the minute, would be Salah. And he's talked numerous times about he wants to play for Real Madrid and stuff.
But you let Salah go, and
Firmino's not by far the best player there.
Firmino's not firing. You get rid of Salah, Firmino and Mane aren't carrying that team.
I think Mane. No, I think
Mane's done. What's Mane done recently?
He's been crap this season. I'll completely concede that, but you got to remember he's the one that's been there. I think did he get there before Firmino? No, just after Firmino, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But he was carrying that front three before Salah got there, and albeit it wasn't to the same level of success, but he's kept that consistency for so long. I think, and then Firmino, you look at it, who's going to pay the money for him? Because how much would you realistically get from him in this market?
It's one other thing to look at for Mane and Salah as well. If they're getting on a bit, so if we are ever to sell to maximise profits, it's going to have to be soon, maybe this summer.
This is the thing, it's all about squad turnover, and I think Klopp and FSG really need to... Well, I think I've got full confidence that they'll be able to do it because they've done it once, but...
Yeah, you need an overhaul.
Project Mbappe 2021.
I think...
don't even. Mate, I want Haaland.
Don't we all?
Just completely change systems, go and buy Haaland and just feed him the ball.
I think you need to get rid of that.
Insane.
Who's that really slow lad that wears number 6 for you? What's his name?
The one that ran
Thiago.
The majority of
Thiago.
The one that ran
Thiago.
Against you.
Thiago.
Yeah.
Ran himself into a 0% win record for Liverpool. It's pretty good.
You've been getting so much slander online, but
what has he done?
It's not justified though.
But why? What has he done?
Every time he's been on the pitch, he's been in a different I'm sure he's played in 5 different midfields. In a team that's very unsettled. I don't think he's played alongside Fabinho and Henderson in a midfield.
I don't hear these excuses for Paul Pogba.
Yeah,
well, Paul Pogba's had 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, Pogba's had 4 or 5 years. Thiago's had 5 games.
Even when he come in, there was never this kind of.
Because Thiago didn't cost 80 million.
He still dubbed one of the signs of the season, wasn't he?
And to be fair, I think if you had a fully fit team, he would be. His game is not. He's not a final third player. Paul Pogba is far more capable of being a final third player than Thiago. That's just their skill sets.
So what is Thiago good at? Just
at dictating the pace of the play, keeping the ball,
relieving. But what good does that do if it doesn't achieve anything? I think he's great on the eye. It looks brilliant.
My thing is, you look at the amount of times he's put players in good positions and they've done nothing with the ball. At the end of the day, he can do that all he wants. The players up front have got to do something with it.
To be fair,
every time he gives the ball to Firmino, he fucking loses it.
What I will say, I don't think it's as much his attacking play. What stood out for me, because obviously he did look good. He is unbelievably slow.
No, it was at that moment where Pogba just burned down.
It was twice. There was once with Greenwood, where Greenwood wasn't even sprinting, and Thiago.
He looked knackered.
His little legs were going.
That kind. I did notice that, and that did make me laugh a little bit.
He loves a slide tackle as well.
He does. Proper.
I could see him getting himself sent off at some point.
Yeah, I actually agree.
It wouldn't shock me. You got to remember as well, he's been used to playing in a Bayern team that just dominate everyone, and he played at Barcelona where, in both senses, the play is a lot slower and it's a lot less fast paced than.
Yeah, he'd be a great player in one of them teams because, they have loads of the ball. He can just dictate play, like you say, and just spread it about and look brilliant. But if he's playing in a team that's going to get attacked, like Liverpool were in the FA Cup, he's going to get exposed defensively if he's playing in that number 6 sort of holding role.
But you got to remember, that's not where he's at his best. When he played holding for Bayern Munich, he had Joshua Kimmich next to him, whose legs.
So do you think he needs someone next to him, like Fabinho?
Well, yeah, ideally, but we can't do that at the minute.
That's
the biggest issue we've got, is every time we put a midfield in there, he's asked to do all the hard yards when at the end of the day, to some extent, he's a luxury player. He's you look someone like in the same kind of mold as someone like a Pirlo or like maybe a Paul Pogba for United, where they need the players around him to actually do the hard yards for him.
Say you're going into a big game against City, then would you want him in your midfield? Given the fact that he's going to get have to do a lot of defensive work.
Absolutely.
Ryan?
Who else do you
in
put
a
in
big game against who? Sorry. Well,
like City or United, where you're going to get.
Put it this way: do we want him in the squad tonight? And I'd say yeah.
Who else do you want in that midfield?
I don't know. Maybe Wijnaldum's got better legs. Henderson, Fabinho. It's more industrial.
I mean, it's not even confirmed whether Fabinho's in the squad tonight. I mean, they might.
I don't mean tonight. I just mean in general for like a sort of game where you're going to have to do a bit of defending.
I do still think he gets into our best team right now. I think with everyone fit, I think him, Fabinho, and Henderson starting that midfield.
Yeah,
and I think that gives you a bit of everything then. Because I think Wijnaldum's been great, but I don't.
Gini can't create anymore. Like there's more chance of Joel Matip creating something.
But he can though. This is the thing, he can. Was it against? Who was it against? It was recently where he's took the ball from like the centre circle and he's ran pretty much.
Yeah, I know one you're on about against Burnley.
Yeah, and you think, why do you not do that?
It's the first thing he's done in fucking years.
Like, I know,
well, not years,
Klopp
sorry, but you know what I mean.
has this whole thing of, like, he just wants him to sit deep, keep the ball, like, recycle possession and that. But it just seems to be that, like, that's been ingrained in him for so long in this Liverpool team that he's forgotten how to, like you say, like, he's forgotten how to create. Because you look at him for Holland and he's a goal scorer in number 8 or number 10. He used to play on the wing for Newcastle. Like, he scored 5 goals in one game. He's capable of doing it. But, I don't know. I think...
One thing I wanted to note on is how good is Fernandes.
I mean, that first game, terrible.
I knew it would happen because you were giving him shit after that first game for not turning up, and you just knew.
He had
a Hall
of Shame performance against us, and he didn't even play well against in the second
game. Exactly, I want to call out this myth. Like, you're bombing him over a free kick, which should have been stopped.
At the end of the day, he's a good player in the final third. He doesn't do much in terms of when this is the thing, right? He's a very, very good player at what he does, which, when he gets the ball, he's constantly looking to create. That's fine. And it's fine for yous because yous don't really look to keep hold of the ball that much. Like, I'm not being funny. In any other team, he would be so frustrating.
Yeah, no, I agree, but that's what we've been missing. He's the exact thing that we've been missing. And if someone that's just going to take a risk and not just play the simple pass, and the amount of times it's come off, it's no coincidence. And look, like the free kick against you in the first game, he missed it, but you just know he's going to come up clutch and he's going to be that guy that's going to score a goal. It's been happened too many times to be a coincidence.
That's fine, but then for that 80-90% of the game where he's smelling the gaff up and just giving the ball back to our centre backs, then it's, if you're playing against a better team, he can't do that as much. Like, he's not able to get away with it.
I mean, it's not like he does that every week, though. He had an off game against Hughes, fair enough.
I just worry that he was crap against Sheffield United last night.
Well, everyone was crap against Sheffield United.
But I just my thing is with him, I worry that he's going to go down the same route we did with Steven Gerrard. In that he's basically allowed to do what he wants and fuck everyone else. And I don't know, I just think short term that's great because he's doing great for you, but I think long term that's not a good way to build your team.
In what sense, do what he wants?
Well, every time he gets the ball, what's he looking to do? Every time he gets the ball, he's either looking to hit a 40-50 yard pass or he's trying to shoot.
Yeah, but it comes off.
But 9 times out of 10 it doesn't. And
I don't care. I don't care if he's...
This is the thing. This is the thing. If you want to build a team that's wanting to go for the title and wants to play a certain way,
then you'd do every right to build it around Fernandes.
All I'm going to say is the other midfielder who's possibly just as creative and deadly as him at the minute is Kevin De Bruyne. Now, Kevin De Bruyne can keep the ball because his decision making is fantastic, and he comes up clutch more times than not, because when he gets into that final third, his quality is just as good, probably better than Fernandes. But the big difference is his decision making. But De Bruyne also knows he's part of a system where he can't just do what the fuck he wants. We had it with Gerrard for years. Gerrard was a fantastic player, and I've got no sort of thing about saying, he could have been better in this and that. But we fell into that trap of, especially once he got older and once the team and the players around him weren't very good, where he was just basically allowed to do what he wants, and it's fuck everyone else. It's not a good way to
But
have a football team unless you're Lionel Messi
I'm
and you're
not
putting
even
out that
understanding
input
you.
and putting out that output.
Wait, what would you do with him then?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
What would you do with him?
Do you want him just to conform and
No, I
just
just
play
think-
5-yard passes all the time?
Well, I'm not being funny. I just think if you just want to progress to the next, because I think you're a team at the minute where you're on the verge of becoming a good team. I think 1 or 2 signs away from becoming a team that can really compete, player for player wise anyway. But I just think if you want to actually be consistent and not rely on one player to constantly produce magic, you need to.
So we need to stop Fernandes doing what he's doing, even though he's just carried us to the top of the league and Champions League spots in the year that he's been here.
All I'm saying, Joe, what? Think differently if you want, but I just don't think it works out long term when you've got a player that's got that much sort of like, in a sense, control over a team. You know, you look at his reactions every time he comes off. He's like,
Yeah, that's good.
throws his toys at the pram.
Because he cares.
It's not because he's
It's not sulking. Don't cause a problem because he comes back and just does it again the next time. It's not like he's sat on the bench like crying and then refuses to play or doesn't turn up to training.
Now, and that's fine. But I just don't think long term it does work. I think because the thing is, what happens when he goes for a bad patch of form? Because it's bound to happen. Is he still allowed to just take shots on all the time and keep losing you the ball? And the big difference is what happens when all these passes that are coming off now because he's in a great vein of form, and you know he feels like he's untouchable. Don't come off and he gives the ball away 80-90% of the time like he did against Liverpool, and you start losing games like he did at Sheffield United. That's what I'm saying. What happens then? Is it still okay that he's giving the ball away 90% of the time he has it?
Well, obviously it wouldn't be. That's just saying if a player's out of form, a player's out of form. If he's giving the ball away all the time, well, obviously that's not going to be a good thing. But that's the same with any player.
But that's his game. I'm saying his game it's either it is very much like on the edge. It's no kind of in between. It's either I'm going to play this pass and it's going to hit, you know, him on the run and he's going to score, or I'm going to give you the ball back and they're going to have a chance to counter.
But the amount of times he does it, the chances are because he gets himself in the right.
That's the thing. He's a quality player. He's a very, very good player. But you look at the difference between him for Hughes and him for Portugal. For Portugal, he doesn't do half the bullshit he does for Hughes because he knows there's a system in place and he knows who's top dog. I think it's because he's top dog. I mean, at the end of the day, I just want Hughes to suffer, and I really hope it goes that way. But
we've literally just been crying out for a player like him, a leader, someone that's going to take risks, someone that's got the quality, and he's just ticked all them boxes. And for the foreseeable, that is just never ever going to be a problem. He is the last person in that team that is ever going to be a problem. And I think that free kick has just fried your head, and you just can't see.
Do you know what I would say? What I would say is I think you very much do need a player in that midfield that can actually keep possession of the ball properly.
But who would you take out if you did in midfield?
Well, Pogba's going to be off in the summer.
But even then, we have Fred, McTominay.
I wouldn't be so certain about that.
Well, Fred and McTominay are not the kind of players you want given the ball under pressure. They're not that's not their skill set. They're very good off the ball.
No, I think that's the complete opposite, actually. I think McTominay is very press resistant. The amount of times he got out of tight spots against you. I think that's literally the reason he plays in the big games.
Every time I just look at the midfielders you've got, I don't think that's the reason he plays in the big games. It's not
McTominay and Fred are so good at keeping hold of the ball in tight spots. That is literally the reason they play. And Pogba plays further forward.
Every time I watch them lose the ball every time they have it.
I don't think you've been watching enough United then.
I really have. I've had to for this fucking podcast. But I because it's even Matic ain't great on the ball either. Like,
I'll give that match was really poor last night. I'll give you that.
So the thing Hughes could do with to be honest, it makes no sense to me why Hughes didn't go out and sign Partey in the summer instead of Van der Beek. But anyway,
right, Jake, I'm asking you now. Like, I hate to say it, but I see no issue if United midfield from talent drive. So do you think if United are being to be title challenges again next year, they need to get another midfielder?
Oh, definitely
in the summer.
Definitely. They need a holding midfielder. They need a holding midfielder. Are you joking?
I know. That's the only.
You ask any United fan, they need a holding midfield player, and then they think they're going to need a midfield player to replace Pogba, unless Van der Beek is going to be the one that comes in. Because I don't think long term, Fred. Your thing is right. You've got a very low ceiling with Fred and McTominay as your midfield pairing. Like they're not bad players, but they're not gonna. You wouldn't talk about them in like title winning teams. That's not the kind of players that they are. If you're a club with ambition, you should want better players than that.
I just think there's such a agenda against them two when they have actually had
they've been good this
seasons.
No, they've been good this season, but being press resistant is not their strengths. I completely disagree with that.
I think I could make you a montage the amount of times that McTominay kept hold of the ball against Liverpool.
I could make you a montage of Divock Origi scoring amazing goals. It doesn't mean that it comes through every week. Like,
I just think you just watch it with such tainted glasses that you just can't see.
I really don't. Honestly, I'll give you credit where it's due. They've had a good season, but would you not agree that you could do with?
No, that's the thing. I think Matic is past his sort of sell-by date now, and I would have another holding. I would have another holding midfielder in there, someone like a Declan Rice.
To be fair, I think Van der Beek could be perfect for you just because of what he is. He's very good at just getting the ball, just passing it off, and
there's no way you can play a midfield of Van der Beek, Pogba, and Fernandes.
But this is the thing: Pogba ain't going to be here next year.
I don't think you can be so certain about that.
I just look at it. I think the amount of
who's going to come in
with
Pogba?
Yeah, who's going to sign him?
Real Madrid.
They're in massive amounts of debt.
Yeah, but Zidane absolutely loves him, and Real Madrid have got no issue about spending money they don't have.
Zidane's probably not even going to be there by the end of the season.
Are they not still top of the league, or is it Atletico?
Atletico are top. Madrid is shite.
I don't know. I just look at it and I think he would make perfect sense. He's a very Real Madrid signing.
I think Ole handled that very well, by the way, all that agent stuff, because that could have
he did.
That could have absolutely tore the dressing room apart, and he's just sort of diffused it very well, and he's got a tune out of him.
Yeah, give him his due, he did very well with that.
Pogba's been class for the last month, even though you won't admit that either.
No, he's been very good, but the way I look at it is he just playing for a move? Because he's been poor all season, and then all these rumours start coming out about him wanting to leave, and Real Madrid being interested and all this stuff, and then he starts playing well again. Now it could be nothing. It could just be that Ollie's talked him round and kind of put his arm around and stuff. But I don't know. It's just there's no smoke without fire kind of thing.
But I think with Pogba, there's been rumours about him leaving ever since he joined United. Like, what's going to change for the summer? I don't see him leaving, if I'm honest.
I just think he's very big time Pogba, and I think if he'll probably look at Real Madrid and think I can go there and be the guy. Because I think especially now United have got Fernandes, he isn't the guy anymore. I mean, I don't know. I just look at the way Pogba has been over his career and that.
I think the thing with Pogba is I think he's just frustrated at the fact that he's not winning trophies. And I think if he was to win trophies with United, I think if we were to win a couple of trophies this season, why shouldn't he stay here and win them with us? Because that's why he come back in the first place. Which is what he said.
The thing is, you've got to remember the allure of Real Madrid. Like, they could go to anyone regardless of the situation they're in and pinch their best player just because they're Real Madrid. You look at yous were flying. You'd won back-to-back league titles in the late 2000s. They came in for Ronaldo and you could do nothing about it because he wanted to go. And they were shit at that point. I think they went like a couple of years without league titles and they were in transition. That's just what Real Madrid are. But
anyway, another player which you haven't mentioned, which I thought we probably should, is Martial, who had a stinker last night. We've touched on we'll come back to the Burnley game, but we'll talk about Sheffield United. A lot of sort of Martial FC fans on Twitter who have been all in for Martial, which admittedly I've kind of been one of them for a long time. Sort of looked at that Sheffield United game and thought that's the final straw for Anthony Martial.
I just love that I was right.
How do you feel about it?
I'm very much on my last chance saloon for Martial.
Last chance saloon.
Right. Does it not feel so good to be right?
I can say the same about Firmino.
It does.
Firmino's backed it up before. Martial's never backed it
up once, same as Martial. One season.
Firmino's had a few good seasons. Martial's
had a few good seasons.
My opinion on Martial has always been he's a decent player, but he is never going to be good enough to be your main striker, your out and out number 9, and he's not been. And I think this season's proven that.
I think it's just so frustrating because last season it just looked like it was all coming together for him. He got the number 9 shirt back. He was playing class and was, linking the play up. He was scoring goals. And then this season, I just can't put my finger on what's gone wrong for him. And
he's just not a very good player, Ollie.
He is though, because he is. And even at the start of the season, he was linking up the play really well and was actually looked like a key part of this team, even though he wasn't scoring. But now it's just
Part of me just thinks that I honestly look at it and I think you've actually been reminded what a real number 9 looks like. Cavani's come in and just, and he's not played probably as much as he should have done. So I think every time he's played for you, he's looked great. But
that's the thing. Cavani, even if he does, have an off day, he'll run all day long, and that's what really I absolutely lost my head with Martial last night when he gave the ball away. There was twice. There was once for the goal where he gave it away, which admittedly it maybe wasn't his fault because Matic just sort of left him in a crowd of 3 players, but didn't track back then. And there was another time he gave the ball away sort of on the halfway line and just stood there, and a Sheffield United break came because he didn't track back. And I just think if you're not in form, at least run. That's the very minimum you can do is just run.
Nah, I fully agree with that.
That nothing winds me up more than a player just stood there like throwing their hands in the air and just not tracking back.
Do you want to see him in the starting 11 at the moment?
Not anymore, no. Drop him for Cavani.
There you go.
Tanya. I mean, to be fair, it's not. I'm not happy with you. But I mean, I just look at him. I think he has been shown up a little bit. Cavani's come in, and I think he's the mould of player you've been crying out for.
Yeah, and he could fight for his plate, Martial. He could fight and say, like, do you know what, Cavani's come in. Like, I'm going to aspire to be better than him. I'm going to learn from him. I'm going to be better. But he just looks like he's just shying away from it.
Yeah.
And anyway, just that game in general was just so frustrating. I don't know what happened with us. Like, Sheffield United were organised. They were, dogged as they were last season, really. But our defending for that second goal, like, fair enough. Like, we've had a sloppy start. We haven't been able to make much sort of inroads into their defence. But equalise, you think, right, do you know what, we're back in the game, like, let's just put it to bed now. And to defend like that, it was shambolic.
My question to you is, why, is there a reason why he dropped Luke Shaw?
I think it's just because he thought, I think it's just, in games like that, Tellez has obviously got a good cross on him, and we're going to have a lot of the ball. We might as well just put someone like Tellez in, give Shaw a rest, And Tellez was decent going forward.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't even think Tellez was bad. It's just a thing.
For that goal, though, Tellez was very sloppy. There was a host of sort of mistakes.
I just don't get why you drop probably your second best player this season.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, but the games are coming thick and fast. You've got to rest them at some point.
Who have you got next, by the way?
Southampton or West Ham? Ooh. Oh no, it's not. It's Arsenal at the weekend. Arsenal on Saturday.
Do you know what? It's a sticky one if you don't get a result there, though. Because I think City now look like they may run away with it.
Yeah.
Because I feel like they are the only team right now that have any sort of like rhythm and consistency. Yous have been like grinding out results and like yous have put together a good run of form, but I just think they look properly.
Yeah,
like
I said even before the Sheffield United game, I think City will win the league, just because when they're in that kind of form and they sort of get rumbling, there's not a lot you can do about that team, and we're not at that level yet. Maybe next season we will be, but I'll fully admit we're not as good as Man City at the moment.
So do you think now it might be okay? Do you think you'll bounce back on against Arsenal?
I think we will, yeah. We have been. I think we've been in too good a form not to. Like, it's one bad result. I think we sort of put that behind us, and if I'm right in saying I think Arsenal's away, which we do seem to play better away from home. Yeah, it is away.
Away FC, aren't you? Jesus
which is
Christ.
Weird as it is, but we do. The other one I wanted to mention from that game, the Sheffield United game, which really did piss me off because of all the times you say United get decisions. That is so inconsistent, them two decisions for the goals.
I actually couldn't tell you what you're on about. Like,
I've
seen the second goal. Well, I've seen both goals go in. I was watching it, but I don't. What are you on about?
So basically, what's happened for the first one? Billy Sharp sort of shoulder barged De Gea in the back as he's gone up to catch it. Ryan, please tell me you've seen this.
Yeah, I've seen them both, and honestly, I don't think either of them.
Well, that's the thing. I said when the De Gea one happened, I said, you know what, I don't think that's a foul. I think he's just too weak. Like, that doesn't happen to someone like Alisson when he goes up to claim a corner. He's just too weak. So
if it's in the back though, that does get.
Yeah, you could see it from. There's one angle where it really does look sort of worse than maybe your first thought. But even then, I'd say, right, fair enough. He's gone up for it, and it happens. But what frustrated me more is that Martial scored a perfectly good goal. Maguire's gone up with a header, not even put his arms anywhere near the goalkeeper, with his back to the goalkeeper, jumps up and Ramsdale drops it right at the feet of Martial and he scores, and the referee
You know-
blows for a foul.
You know what was very similar to?
I was
Do you
gonna say there
remember
was-
Van Dijk
Harry
against
Maguire.
United last year?
Oh God, yeah, I remember
but
that.
there was even less contact than that though, because in that one Van Dijk had his arm up slightly, but even the Maguire one, he had his arms like nowhere near the keeper.
Harry Maguire had another one disallowed, didn't he, recently?
Yeah, he's
A
so
couple of weeks
unlucky.
ago, which, to be fair, that was really soft.
Ever since Klopp started whinging, we've not got any decisions.
Oh, bless you.
But it does make a difference though. We were shit against Sheffield United, but that changes the game. If we equalise, within 5 minutes or 10 minutes of
does,
them
but then
scoring, that completely
we can
changes the game.
I can say exactly the same thing about us against Burnley. At the end of the day, Origi puts that in the net and doesn't.
That's different.
try and hit-
That's your player being
No,
shit. That's not
No,
a
but- no, what I'm
refereeing
saying-
decision.
No, what I'm saying is moments like that where like things go your way, they don't. Whether it be like because of the ref or because a player missed a goal, like it does change games.
But I could accept it more if it was just Martial missing a sitter rather than Martial scoring and getting it disallowed wrongly.
Yeah, but it's whether it was wrong at the end of the day. And I'm not saying it was right or wrong because I've not seen it, but
I'd even
It's-
have to say it was a wrong decision. Like I hate to
at
say
the
it,
end
but
of
I
the
do
day,
not
we've
know.
said it. I think we've said it since we started this podcast. VAR and how things get disallowed is always so inconsistent and doesn't get used properly. So it's.
I don't even think VAR was the issue for it, if I'm
It's
honest.
the referee blew his whistle too soon.
Oh, did he? Oh,
Yeah, because just as Martial struck the ball to put it over the line, the referee blew the whistle, so VAR couldn't look at it. Which is just the refereeing is just shit in England as well.
Oh, of course. I think it's possibly the worst in the continent, besides all the corrupt leagues like fucking Portugal and that. And I think there's another one I can't put my head on. Put my head
Greece.
on, but, I think there's a really bad one. It's like Serbia or something. Serbia's got a really fucking corrupt league.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, it's somewhere over in that.
that's the worst
region,
thing.
but
We're not even corrupt. We're just bad. Like it's just.
I just thought where it was. It's fucking. Where was Danny? We went to uni from.
Bulgaria.
That's where it is. Apparently, that's mad corrupt. Right, it's all like drug lords and all sorts get involved with it. But anyway,
Can we touch on the Burnley game just to cheer me up a bit? We're talking about United.
as I said before, if Origi scores that, we win that game 4-0.
But you didn't.
But that's the whole thing. It's just.
Is that
it's-
Is it not worrying though? Are you?
Oh,
Games
definitely.
like that worry you?
Definitely. But I'm a little bit more at ease after the United game, funnily enough, because I think it was just a case of you don't score in 4 games, you forward to miss fire, and I think it's a bit of... It's got to play in your minds a little bit when you're going into games and getting chances like that you just need that goal.
You still
So I
haven't
think-
scored in the Prem though, have you?
We haven't, but it's still... We scored in an important game at the end of the day. Whether we lost it or not, it's still an important game. A game against you in any competition really is important. So
I don't want to interrupt you, but we've got some breaking news where Fabinho has been ruled out with injury tonight.
Oh, I love this
Who's going to
fucking
play?
game.
Who's going to play centre half?
But was it Reece Williams and Nat Phillips maybe?
Lineup's not out yet, but I'd imagine so.
That is. What about Hendo? Is he back?
Watch him play Thiago at the back or something. Like,
Imagine Thiago and Reece Williams. How slow of a partnership that'd be.
Jesus.
Against
I just-
Harry Kane as well.
Do you know what? I really just don't like football. This is just
That
ridiculous.
was all that was waiting to happen. Was a few injuries to your team. And
I mean, there's a few injuries and there's this, mate. Fuck me.
but I mean, against us, you had. I think someone pointed this out, that this narrative that you've had so many injuries and that for quite a while now. You've had your first choice front three, pretty much your first choice midfield, other than Fabinho having to go to centre back, and then missing Van Dijk at the back and Gomez. You've had your first choice fullbacks,
Think
first
about
choice
it,
keeper
yeah,
for a while now, first choice
Think
front
about
three.
it. No, think about it since the start of the season.
Yeah, I
the amount
know,
of
but
injuries we've
recently
had.
though, like a lot have come back.
Alisson went out for was it a month? We had to play Adrian in net. Trent went out for a month. Obviously Van Dijk and Van Dijk and Gomez went out. You've had Matip in and out constantly, so it means you can never get any rhythm. You've got Henderson's been out a few times.
No, I know you've had
Jota's
an injury.
massive miss as well. I think it's more than anything. You've got a team that's been like I said, you've got a team that's been together for so long that's built around that core of players. I think any team that loses the core of players is going to get shown up. Look at City when they lost Laporte. they were absolutely shagged because it kind of it's like a knock-on effect everywhere.
But just going back to what you said at the start about United not going for it at Anfield, we were playing 9 of your team that won the league last season.
Yeah,
or 8 plus Thiago.
Well, that might be true, but out of those 9, I think pretty much all of them are playing the last 3 games prior to that where they'd not scored a goal, and that we looked shit. This is what I'm saying. You're playing against, but it's. I'm sorry if you can look at that lineup and say that's a strong team when we're having to play central midfield players at the back, then it's not even worth discussing. Because imagine you use that to put in a game where you had to put fucking Fred and McTominay at the back. It's just like, well, Fred and fucking Pogba at the back.
I think there's a lot of times where Sir Alex Ferguson played midfield as a centre half, and I don't think people would be.
No, he did. Sir Alex
people would be
Ferguson was a
thinking.
fucking genius.
I don't think people would be thinking, "Oh, we're going to slap these about today."
I don't know. I think there's more anything. Sir Alex Ferguson was just a genius and was able to get a lot with a little.
True, very true. Do you think you're out of the title race? Just to wrap things off, or do you think you're still in with a
win
shout?
tonight? Who fucking knows?
I'd say because of this season, we still are.
Is this your new biggest?
Because of this season.
Is this your new biggest game of the season tonight?
I think every game now is a big game. It's. I think until we mathematically can't be in it, or it becomes a bit of like maybe like a 10-point gap, 15-point gap, then I think we're more than still in it.
With playing Tottenham though, if they win, they go ahead of you, and you go down to 6th, which is.
But then 3 bad games for one team and 3 good games for another team. This league's so close at the minute. Like, how much of a discrepancy is it between like 7th and 1st? It must only be like 10 points.
Yeah, less than that at the moment. That means there's games in hand and stuff trying to catch up. But
so it's so close. It's like I look at us now. I don't think we can get any worse. That's the biggest thing. I think where we are right now is, especially after the Burnley game, is rock bottom. Like, we cannot get worse than that. I refuse to believe it. With the players we've got there, they cannot be possibly worse than what they've been. So, and if they are, then we are in a lot of trouble.
To put the table into perspective, if we lose tonight, Arsenal, who have had a terrible season, are 4 points behind us.
Yeah. It's just so close. I mean, I've got a mate who's a sort of complete neutral in terms of football, and he is absolutely desperate to see a 6-way title race, which it could happen.
Probably
it could
very
well
good for a
happen.
neutral.
It could
probably
very
is
well
very.
happen. Yeah. I mean, it's been a while since we've had
for people that actually where their team is competing at the top. It's like now, like this is the most stressed I've been watching football in like a few years. Like, it used to be so fun. Like, literally the last 2-3 years, I've went into every single game knowing, we're probably going to win today, or at least we're going to play well. Like we're going to turn up, we'll get something out of this game. This season's just been fucking horrible. But yeah, literally between 10th and 1st place, so 10th place Aston Villa and 1st place Man City, there's 12 points, which is fucking mental.
What a season, though. What a season we could be in for if it carries on like
Definitely.
this. Anyway, a couple of things that we were just going to touch on just before we get on to predictions. There's one I've just thought of now, which I thought we'd better mention, since we have been slandering Martial slightly. One of the things which is upsetting to see is that Martial, as well as Axel Tonzibi, who sort of deflected the second goal against Sheffield United, have been racially abused on Instagram, which is just a joke, really, that people are still getting away with it. I think you say that, but
I'm obviously joking.
It happens. It's happened with Liverpool before. It's happened with so many teams. It's
pathetic, isn't it?
It's pathetic from the people themselves, but it's also from social media sites like Instagram and Twitter that aren't doing enough to stop it.
Sorry, I'm very sorry to interrupt you. We've got team news for Liverpool, so and then we will go straight back onto it. It's just that it's come out. So yeah, Henderson and Matip at the back.
Oh, Matip's back. So what are you crying about then?
Because he won't be here the next game. And then Wijnaldum, Milner, Thiago, and then the front three. But yeah, no, it's like any. I mean, racism's obviously like arguably the worst form, but it's like any sort of abuse. We've had it this season where you've had. I think Neco Williams had to delete his with the Instagram or Twitter account because the amount of abuse. You're like, it's football. At the end of the day, you get upset and it means a lot, but.
Well, I think it's always been a thing that people get upset about football. I think it's just because people can hide behind social media now, and there's no consequences.
There's no way they'd be saying that if they see him in the street.
No, exactly.
Or even in the stands or anything. It's just fucking pathetic.
There needs to be more to be done to sort of identify people on social media. But
I think at least now clubs are starting to look at it, and they are issuing the likes of bans and sanctioning certain things for it. But yeah, it's not nice.
Anyway, on a more light-hearted note, one of the ones you picked up on, Jake, was the battle between two former United centre forwards in Serie A, or I think it was in the Coppa Italia or something like that.
Whichever, it was just. I don't know
whose side are you on?
Exactly it was. No, actually, less whose side are you on? Who do you think would win that fight?
Zlatan.
Lukaku.
No.
Come on, it's got to be Zlatan.
Sheer force.
Zlatan's a black belt in Taekwondo.
Have you seen the way Zlatan can kick? Like, his legs go mad angles. Like,
what have you ever seen Lukaku do? Apart from fall over the ball.
Tell you what, it's a pay-per-view. I would certainly pay for it.
Yeah, it'd be a big heavy. Do you know what? People are going on about like this Logan Paul Conor McGregor fight. Like, I'm sure people would rather watch those like Lukaku and Ibra fight it out than those two
for the Serie A title.
I think
that should be the way they decide football. Every now and again, let them fight it out like hockey.
I can't remember a bit of beef like that happening at a game with no fans for a while. Like that obviously players aren't quite as fired up without all the supporters geeing up and all that. But I think that was good to see, like, because you could actually hear what they were saying and stuff, which I thought was quite interesting.
Was it something like, did someone say something about someone's mother? And then
yeah, I think that's
it was like, I'm gonna fuck your wife and your just madness. Like,
yeah, it was great. It was good to see. Like,
but yeah, who are we supporting on it?
I'm gonna say Zlatan just because he was better for United.
Regardless of if he potentially may have been racist, yeah, he was better for United.
I don't think he was racist.
I honestly can't stand Zlatan. Like, you're 40 years of age. Like, no harm.
It used to
well,
be
you're not
funny.
40, but you're near enough.
No, it used to be funny. Now it's just you look like a bit of a prick.
Yeah, all his tweets as well about getting COVID. Like, shut up.
I think that's part of his brand, though, isn't it?
It is, but it doesn't make it any less insufferable.
And all his memes, I can't even think off the top of my head now, but just anytime I see
he's
Ibra pop up
Chuck Norris is what he does.
Exactly.
Do you know the way, people used to talk about Chuck Norris, COVID, Chuck Norris didn't get COVID got Chuck Norris or something.
Yeah.
It's the same kind of shit, and it's like, fucking hell. It's funny when you're 10 years old and oh, that's dead funny.
Lukaku loves himself as well, though. Lukaku's always coming out and saying he's best striker in the world and stuff.
But I think it's more confidence than the arrogance.
Yeah.
When it comes
did you
to
see did you see his post where I think it was the FIFA ratings got released this year, and it was his pace was 81, and he was like, "Did you not see that goal I scored where I burned him off?" Post a video of him burning some fella. He does back himself a little bit, but I don't know.
Anyway,
at the end of the day, they both played for United.
It's good to see a bit of a feisty derby, a bit of rivalry going on. It was a little bit of that in the United game, but nothing too major, nothing like that on that level. But it was good to see in the Milan derby. Anyway, predictions, Ryan.
Predictions. Right.
How did we do?
Ollie got the best showing of last week, has to be said.
Get in.
He got 5 points, Jake with 1, and I'm on 3. So the scores on the board at the moment is Augie on 21, Jake on 22, and I'm lagging behind on 18.
Hey, still ahead. At least I'm winning that.
So, week 7 predictions. First up, we have Arsenal against United. Big game, to be fair.
Ooh. I'm going to go 2-0 United.
I'm going to say 1-1.
I think 1-0 Arsenal.
Leicester against Leeds.
Ooh.
Oh, just on another point, do you think Odegaard will play for Arsenal in that game? It'd be interesting to see him.
I'd like to see him.
Yeah. I'd like to see him, yeah. But, I mean, it could be too early. He only signed from a couple of days ago. Actually, do you know what? Thinking about that, with transfers and stuff, with people, the whole coronavirus and that, would he have to self-isolate when he gets it? Or is it all...
I don't actually know. You'd think he would do, but
yeah,
I think
sure.
Tuchel didn't though.
Oh shit, he didn't, did he?
So,
I don't know. No, it's just
there's probably some law that they can bypass it with a bit of elite sport or something.
Essentially celebrities are above the law, aren't they? So, I was going to go with 4-0 Leicester.
4-0.
Who are Leicester playing, sorry?
Leeds at home.
Ooh.
Actually, wait, no, can I change that? 4-1.
3-1 Leicester.
I've also went for 3-1 Leicester. Tonight's game, Spurs against Liverpool.
Ooh. So,
2-0.
by the time you listen to this, you'll know the result. You'll be laughing at us.
2-0 Liverpool.
I'm going to say 1-0 Tottenham.
I'm on the fence. I said 2-2.
Toto.
And then back to Spurs for their weekend game away to Brighton.
I might actually go 1-1 for that.
I've also went 1-1.
I think 3-1 Spurs.
And finally is Liverpool's second game of the week away to West Ham.
Ooh.
I'm going to say
not confident.
2-1 West Ham. They look decent.
Do you know what? I'm not confident, but I've got to back the boys. I'll probably go 2-1 Liverpool.
West Ham to extend their lead over Liverpool to 7 points.
What have you went for that, right?
I've went on the fence again, another 2-2.
You absolute fanny.
At least we're getting goals.
Back your boys, Ryan.
To be honest, after just having the realisation that Fabinho ain't playing, we're probably going to have to play fucking... Because there's no way Matip's staying fit 2 games in a week. We're probably going to have to play Nat Phillips and fucking Reece Williams. Fuck knows what the... Joe, what? Stay positive.
Are we having any rogue shouts?
I'm going to put that... I'm going to say Bruno Fernandes will not score or assist in his next game.
His next game?
Yeah.
Come on, you do next 2 games.
Okay, let's say next 2 games then.
Right.
Watch him go and fucking score 3 now and assist 1. But, yeah, fuck it.
I'm going to say Harry Maguire to score another goal.
I've backed the better centre-back, Jordan Anderson. Get a goal.
Hey, he doesn't score many, to be fair. But is there anything else you can think of, or are we?
No, I think we've covered a fair bit there. We've had a decent go at it, haven't we?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know when we're scheduling the next one. Probably another couple of weeks.
You don't know. Everyone's schedule changed all the time.
Who knows? Something exciting might happen. Liverpool might lose 6-0 to West Ham, and I'll be absolutely desperate to do a podcast. So we'll see.
And you won't hear from me for 2 weeks after that.
Anyway, so thanks for watching. If you have got anything to comment on what we say, if you want to have a go at us for how stupid we are, or tell us that you liked the quiz or didn't like the quiz, or think we're idiots, then let us know at not at Route 1, that's old days, at 2 Reds 1 Devil on Twitter.
To be fair, we've all had one of them today, mate.
Drop us a
Awesome.
drop us a follow, and we'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.